Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. Before he stops, right up to the edge. Yes, he's gone right up to the edge of the field, or she has. That's a she in there. She went all the way up to the end of the field. We're not quite doing everything in 2 passes, so it's going to have to turn around and do one more pass along this top end here. And then we can set that one going with the long run down that side of the field, just cleaning all of that up again. Make sure that's right. Well, at least it gives us something to do for a minute. You're fine with the sunflowers, and you're doing a grand job up here. So let's go to you a second. And soybeans, there we go, that's what we want. Right. I'm just going to stop you right there a moment. And then we've got our tractor who's now done his turnaround. Her turn round, and straight off across the field over there, so we will jump to this one here, and then we can do the run up and down the field next. That's going to give us a good chunk that we can... Well, it's only a single pass with the actual seed drill, so it's not like loads and loads of stuff that we've done here. I'm going to bring you over there, and I'm going to go with H there. You're going to drop down here. It's a little tiny strip just on that side. And now you'll run all the way up through here. I'm hoping that it will actually remove everything all the way up through on this side. It's not going to have any issues. It's not going to, like, leave a little tiny piece. Doesn't look like it. We've got that odd little bit right there, which is the edge of the stone. But that's not anything that we need to worry about. Okay, you're doing great. This one is almost done, actually. And it looks like we might get all the rest of the crop into the trailer. I'm not going to be able to finish the field just yet, but what I can do is I can stop here, pull that one out of the crop like that. We'll go up over here to the trailers. Turn off those beacons a minute. And I'll unload into the trailer here, and I reckon that we might be able to get all the rest of the sunflowers unloaded into that trailer. So at the moment, we got 24,000 litres in storage, and the current highest price on the market is 2,400 at the restaurant, and it's still climbing. The highest price is 2,792 that we have seen anywhere on the map so far. So anything, well, 270 below that, so 2,500. If that touches 2,500, then we can sell the sunflowers to the restaurant, and we will be within 10% of the highest price. As long as we stay with it, we get within 10% of the highest price, I'm happy. I'm happy that we will have made some money on it. Let's get round over to here again and just set you going there. Right, I can leave you go, and I can leave you go as well. And then you're coming up through here. You're going to do the same as you did before. That kind of looks like it's actually going all the way across, but I don't... Like, there's a little tiny strip that's come up there. I don't know, to be honest, if that's... properly done. I'm going to put the cultivator into the ground, and if it doesn't do it with the machine, I'm going to do it manually, because I got a feeling that there could be an invisible line all the way down across the field there. How far back are you going to go before you turn around? Right, well, this one's reversing all the way up the field. I'm going to stop that. I won't cultivate all the way from the top, but it does look to me like there's a tiny little line there that's not quite being done properly. So if I run it up through there, I mean, if I... Helper H has completed the task. It looks like they're finished. It looks like that it is actually done correctly. So there isn't an invisible line there, which is promising. I'm zoomed in as far as I can, and I can't see anything on it. So that's very promising. It's indicating that we may not have any serious issues with any of it. all I need to do now is drop the cultivator down into that little bit right there. That is a strip that wants to come right the way out, so we'll do that there. And then I will go around here. So if you pull it out far enough, it should cover all of the land that was sown already. So like if I bring that one out to there, it should do it in 2 passes. So let's see if it will do it in 2 passes here. That is out to the edge of the field. That's out to this edge of the field, and that's looking like a narrow enough strip. It's just because it's uneven sort of right at that other end, and I did have some overlap, which is why we had 3 passes on it, but I think that's going to work. I think that's going to do what it needs to do. Pull it in around there. I'm not going to fast forward time at all. Right, what are you doing? Does go a little bit weird, the AI vehicle extension, when it's just trying to pick up the very last little bit of a crop for some reason. It seems to do it more so when you've got certain settings going on. I've got straight like a normal worker, and that one does seem to confuse it a little bit sometimes. Quite sure why it would confuse it, but it does seem to just throw a spanner in the works every now and then. Right, you're fine. We've got no issues with you, and you have done everything that you need to do on that bit as well. So if I bring you round here, I can start you working, going up and down the field just on this bit. We've only done 2 passes on this one, so we haven't done that much. So the cultivator's got a little bit of work to do just to finish that off, but it's not very much that it needs to do. So I'm just going to set the hired help going there, and you over here, you've got 1,500 litres left, so let's put that spout out there, and I'm just going to leave that one there a second there. Tractor can keep going here. This tractor, I can actually go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plant this bit. I'm going to go there. I'm going to start it planting, and I'm just going to manually do one little strip over here. Now, this sort of makes the tractor slide around a little bit, this particular planter. It's not the best for maintaining straight lines, but he'll do. And then I'll come over to here. So I won't be doing a pass across the bottom end, but I mean, technically I don't really need to on that bottom end. It was only because I wanted to pass on this side, and then I wanted to be able to run a straight line going up that side over there. But I don't need to worry about that either. So I got the hired help is paying for seed and so on, so we don't need to actually go and refill that. It left a little tiny gap there where the field is slightly rough. The reason it would have done that is because I am overlapping slightly. If I bring that back just a bit, just tweak it a little tiny bit like that, and I go there, I think that should be out far. It's brought it in ever so slightly, and it's also just enough to fill in that bit over there as well. I could have done a better job of leveling this field before we actually got started with it. We will do for any future fields that we want to expand a little bit. I will spend a bit more time doing the leveling before we do the ploughing around the edge, because it is only once, and then it's something that you live with permanently after that. So if you don't get it actually, you know, completely, absolutely spot on correct, it can cause a few problems. Leave you just going, and you over here. I'm going to leave you there a minute. Now, what about you? Do I use you to just very quickly empty those trailers out? Kind of need to leave the other tractor running. I've got one of 2 choices. I can just pause the cultivating up here for a minute and run the trailers down. Or I'm going to, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause this one, because it's either this one or the other one. So we're going to dump you there a second. I'll go and grab this trailer. I could probably just leave it in the trailer, because I reckon that we're going to be selling this. 19,600. There is less than 2,000 litres in that combine, so we get it all into these two trailers. And yeah, I think that once the planting is finished, the price in the restaurant is going to go above 2,500, which means that we will be selling our grain before very long anyway. So I might as well just leave this in the trailers, and it's ready to roll. So what I could do, I could just top the trailers up down in the yard. There we go, 21,175 litres of grain. In fact, because we're likely to be going to sell these soon, I don't need to take them any further than this. I can park them right there. We'll chop the wheels like that, see? Wheels are chopped. So they will stay there. Still, I hope they will. I don't want them sliding off down the hill. And this dude can get back to work, and then we can go and take that combine. We can put that one away in the shed while the other cultivator is correcting my mistake down in the bottom field, and the planter is planting the correct crop down in the bottom field. Everything is coming together. You know what he said? Well, what's his face? Was it? It wasn't face. Whoever it is in the A team. I love it when a plan comes together. I love it when a plan comes together. Let's drop it down. Is that face? Let's face it. Is it face? You know, I don't remember. It's been a very long time since I've seen the A team or the A team film, the newer film that they did. I like that film. I really did. I thought that film was fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed that film. And one more pass after that. Okay, combine next then. That one's busy down there. I will take you. I'm going to go and park this one down in the shed. The sunflower header we're done with at the moment. We will be wanting it again. We just don't want it again yet. We're going to be selling sunflowers at 2,500 per 1,000 litres, which means that we're going to be getting a fairly decent amount of money coming in. Helper I has completed their task, so I'm just going to segue you in on over here like this. You are... No, you haven't completed your task. For this time, you haven't actually... I can see there are sunflowers in a strip across the field. I can see them right there. So I'm going to need to set that one going again. Turn you round. I thought that was a bit quick. It did seem a bit odd. Right, I'll put you there, and hired help has picked up on it. So you can go and do that bit. You can keep going. We're going to get 2,500 per 1,000 litres, and we've got close to 50,000, which means that we're going to get about $125,000 for our sunflowers. Bit less than that, I would say, but not far off. So we're looking at close to 125 for the sunflowers. If we're able to sell the beans before the corn is ready for harvest, if we can get a good price for the beans, we're going to be looking at enough money to buy a second combine. And that second combine, I think, would be a good idea before we go buying more land. Like, the more land's 190,000. But, I mean, I know I can hear you saying, well, that's going to be, you know, it's going to be a little bit excessive. But, I mean, hear me out here. Let's just drop that one off there a second. And I'll go there. And I just want to look in here. There we go. Corn headers. That one is for the Nova 330. We could go to that one, but I don't think the Nova 330, our little combine here, is going to be able to cope with a 6-metre corn header. I think it's going to be too much for it. And that's a 3.4-metre corn header. And quite frankly, that is going to take absolutely ages to do the corn harvest. Corn harvest is going to drag on and on and on and on for absolutely ages if we've only got one combine working the field. So I'm thinking seriously that we should be buying a second combine. Either we want to like buy the big corn header and we want to test that one on the combine, 6-metre corn header. Honestly, I think that's a bit too big for that combine. Even like a standard header, I think it's a bit much for that combine to cope with. And certainly for corn, it seems wrong. It seems like it's too excessive. I know that I do like to increase capacities and stuff later on, and I will be sort of going for things that go faster, things that hold more, that kind of situation. But something like that, that corn header is too big for that combine. I'm not entirely happy with that particular setup. So I'm thinking a second combine would speed things up a whole lot more. So maybe we go with a second combine before we start worrying about the next big field. I mean, I got the field there, but I think another one of these. That's what, because I don't want to lease anything. That's one thing I'm not going to do. Is I'm going to try to avoid any leasing. I suppose I could try the John Deere combine, but honestly, I don't think that's the right one either. So those are 6 meters each, and that's 3.4 meters in there. The standard headers that we've got, this one here is a 5 meter header, and that one there is 5.7. I mean, that was almost 6. Well, maybe we shouldn't rule out a 6 meter header here then. I mean, it is too big for that combine, but I mean, it's... Maybe he would be able to cope with it. We will wait until after we've sold our sunflowers, because we're going to need to go and buy a corn header anyway. Not for the next crop, we're doing beans next. But we're going to, if we can sell the sunflowers, then we're going to be in a position to be doing stuff anyway. Right? It's all going to be ready there. You're already halfway through the field now. This is fantastic. So yeah, if we go and sell the sunflowers here, 2432 still climbing. That's excellent. That is absolutely fantastic. If we can hit that 2,500, then we sell what we've got. We'll just add a little bit more into the trailer, and then we come back. We get another double load as well. So, well, I said it'd be 125,000. It won't be, because it's not going to be 50,000 that we're going to be selling. We're going to be selling, well, about 42,000, 43,000 worth. So it's going to be 80. Well, it's going to be just over 100,000 that we're going to have. So we're just over 100,000, so it's going to put us to about 120,000. That's not enough to buy a second combine just yet, because that one's 105, and we won't have any headers. It's not going to be far off of buying a second combine. It's not going to be far off. We could actually go and get the second combine, and then we could work 2 combines in the fields. I kind of liking this idea. I'm thinking maybe... I think maybe we will just go the second combine. I can do a quick test, I suppose. If I was to lease the corn header, I can do a quick test just to see if it will pick it up and hold it at the right height for cutting. And if it does, then we can get one of those combines, one of those headers for each of the combines later on. We're definitely not going to be able to afford to buy that field over there before we do the corn harvest. So we're going to need to do corn first, and then after we've done the corn, then we'll be looking at, it will be combines, new combines after that sometime. I don't know when that'll be, though. It's not going to be just yet. Wondering if I should go and mow the lawn. We only get like $300 if we mow the lawn and we tip the grass in down there. It's like really not particularly worth it. It's a very low return on the work involved. It's just kind of something to do while all of our tractors are running up and down the field, and we're getting a bit bored from just watching them. You look angry about something. Have you not had your lunch or something? Seriously, she looks a little bit cheesed off about something. Just the kind of the pinch of her face there. She looks annoyed. I mean, I'd probably be annoyed as well if my cultivator was skimming the ground like that. Look at it. That is not going into the ground like it should. That should definitely be going into the ground a bit deeper than that. I'm not all that pleased with this Sammy Argon. I'm thinking I'd like to change it. There isn't any upgrades that we can do with it, though. There's you got that one engine set up there, 80 horsepower. Oh, 105. So what have I got? Back. Garage. I've only got the 80 horsepower one. Yeah. I've got an upgrade available for that one. We could go and purchase an upgrade. We could do that. Have a look in here a second. There, that one right there. How much is the upgrade? That's 3 grand. That'd get us an extra 25 horsepower. I don't know if it's going to make any difference to the ability to hold things down into the ground. It's still skimming. But, you know, it might just give this tractor an extra little bit of a lease of life to give it just a slight chance to keep going, because we do have some trouble with that tractor. It's not the best. Out of all the tractors we've got, that Sami Argon it's the weakest one that we've got, and quite frankly, it's just not that great a tractor. But then I remember that from the original FS13. It was a nice one to sort of jump to, but it wasn't really that great overall. I'm just going to bring this and start it going on the outside edge over here so that it meets up with the work that it was doing right in the middle, rather than running a strip down here. It always looks a bit odd when they do the final strip down the edge of the field and they overhang the field by like 3/4 of the machine. I don't really like it doing that. So also, you can very often have issues with the hired help not being able to do it properly anyway. So I generally like to do most of the field and then set it going from the outside edge again and let it do the part run up through the middle of the field. Just seems to look a little bit tidier. Keeps things looking neat. Now, if I go and have a look in here a second, we've still got the whole needing lime fiasco. I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do about that. And we'll remove that. So I'm double, like, I've already got double the amount of fertilizer coming up this side, where we've already gone and done it once. And then in the middle of the field, obviously, there's going to be no changes on there at all. So when we come to do the fertilizing, there'll be a strip along the edge there that we don't need to worry about, which is kind of good. There's a little bit less fertilizing that we've got to do later on. So there is a slight positive that we've got with our complete and total mess up that we had earlier. And next, how are we doing over this side? Couple more passes each on this one up here, and this will all be done. And then we are going to be looking at wanting to sell the crop. Now, I was actually thinking I could get those trailers down to the restaurant using the Fiat. It's going to be slow, admittedly, but I could drag them down there using... Actually, I might use the Sami Argon, but if I upgrade the engine first, it's going to be a little bit of extra oomph to it, and then I could get the grain down there. All we got to do is just wait for the price to keep going up, and I'm only 49 away. So if I was to just fast forward time a little bit, here, we're at 11 o'clock at the moment, just coming up to 11. So I'm jumping forward until 11:30. That shouldn't be enough to interfere with the timings on the crops. We shouldn't have half the fields at one rate and half the field at another rate, but it should have just nudged this along a bit. 2:47, that's still not timed out yet. Let's do another 30 minutes. I reckon we can go till 12. After that, I don't really want to do very much more. I mean, I suppose we could go till 1 o'clock and we still won't have the germination growth of the crops sort of changing at all. 2.5. Okay. Restaurant price is still climbing, and still climbing really nicely as well. Slowing down a little bit, but that is climbing at a very nice rate. So I'm gonna push this until 1 o'clock. I don't mind if the crop does kind of split in its getting ready, in its ripening. That's now slowing down quite a bit. We're 1 o'clock, 2.550. I don't think it's... Yeah, it's just about maybe 2.55, 2.560 possibly. Generally, it takes a little while to just ease off. Looks like we're pushing right through till 2 o'clock here. 5, 6, 7. It looked like it wants to go very much more. 257, and it looks like that's where we're stopping. Right, so 2 o'clock, we will stop that right there. Great demand at the vegetable warehouse. 2557, it stopped going up. Central grain elevator has got a great demand there for canola that we unfortunately missed out on, didn't we? Vegetable warehouse has got a great demand. That is for slurry right now at 260. So slurry we're not getting involved with. Grass prices are on the up a little bit. Milk. Looks like we get some good money for milk. It's a shame that we didn't get a great demand come in there for the restaurant. Right then, just as we hit that maximum price, a great demand that would push that up to over 3,000. But 2557 is fine by my book. That is absolutely fine. I'm going to just jump up and check these. Not interested in you. You over here. You're the one that's going to be dragging the grain down to be sold. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to fold that one up. I'll run the cultivator down and we will put it by the garage and do a quick repair on it. And then as soon as I've done, Helper E has completed their task. That would be the cultivator. So we're all finished with all of our cultivating. I'm going to repair this one. And then I'm going to put it back into the shed. I'm also going to upgrade the Sammy engine so that we've got the slightly higher power. This one doesn't go as fast, obviously, as what our other machine does, as what our Fendt does. That one's got a 50k box on it. But he's not too shabby, is he? I mean, let's be honest. Right, so I'll repair that one. Yes. Repair that one. Yes. And I'll repair the front weight as well. And then I'll go to you and I will customize, and I'm going to give you a 105 horsepower engine like that. I don't want a front loader attachment. I've got the wheel weights and everything else. So that's customized for $3,000. Yes, thank you very much. And then he's automatically unhitched everything that was on it. So I've now got a 105 horsepower engine instead of the smaller 80 horsepower, which I'm hoping is going to just help us out a little bit when we come to dragging down towards the restaurant. Bring you back round here, like that. The restaurant is the inn at the bottom of the hill. Now, I can't lower that down. Oops. That one. Because it's folded. I don't know, that was on their list of bugs that they were aware of that they had no intention of fixing. They'd already... Giants wrote that one off. They said way back at the beginning, yes, we know of this bug, but we're not going to do anything to fix it. That's a very odd approach to it, right? That bug there didn't, like, there are plenty of machines that they've got that you can lower in their folded state. But that one, for some reason, they chose not to allow lowering it in its folded state. But there are other machines. And it's not just like the cultivator that we've got over there hooked onto that tractor. The planter. There are cultivators that allow you to fold them in there, to lower them in their folded state. Like the Amazon... I think we've relived enough glory days just for a moment. We're going to take a breather. We're going to have a little bite to eat. And then we can get back to it, nice and refreshed, and relive a few more glory days. There should be some names coming up right now that you can have a look at. It's names of people who are in the Great Book of Names, people who have supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.